Have you ever wondered how pictures move? Let me tell you about the heroes behind cinema. Auguste and Louis Lumiere were inventors from France in the late 1800s, and they created the very first motion picture camera and projector. Before the Lumiere Brothers, there was no way to truly capture life in motion. Photographs could freeze a single moment, but they couldn't show movement, emotion unfolding, or real-time action. If something happened, a celebration, a historic event, or even just everyday life, you either had to be there or rely on someone's memory or written description. There was no way to replay reality. Moments passed, and once they were gone forever. The problem they addressed was simple but powerful. How do we preserve life as it actually happened? The Lumiere brothers found the answer. They invented the cinematograph, a device that could record and project moving images. For the first time, audiences could watch real life unfold on a screen. Their early films amazed viewers and marked the beginning of cinema. That invention eventually led to movies, TV shows, documentaries, and basically everything we watch today. I consider the Lumiere brothers heroes because they gave us a way to document our daily lives, to capture moments that would have been lost forever. They turned ordinary life into something that could be remembered. Because of them, we can preserve history, emotions, and experiences exactly as they happened. They didn't just invent a device, they gave the world a memory. As a film nerd, that means everything to me. They didn't wear capes, but they changed how we see and remember the world. And that's heroic.
Emma Watson. Why is she a hero? She advocates for human rights, for feminism, for gender equality, for education. In 2014, Emma was appointed as the UN Goodwill Ambassador. This was when she launched the campaign, He for She, that encourages men to stand against inequality. In her speech,
if men don't have to control, women won't have to be controlled. Both men and women should feel free to be sensitive. Both men and women should feel free to be strong. Men, gender equality is your issue too.
Emma defines feminism as the belief in equal rights and opportunities.
Men think it's a women's word, that it's only women, it's only for women. But it really just means that you believe in equality. And if you stand for equality, then you're a feminist.
Emma traveled to Zambia and Bangladesh to support educational initiatives. She met up with female activists to discuss ending child marriage. She also provided bicycles for girls to help them travel safely to school. As a well-known actress, Emma Watson's roles challenge traditional gender stereotypes. They also reflect real-life values of social responsibility. Hermione Granger breaks the mold of feminine stereotypes by balancing her intelligence with emotional strength.
One person couldn't feel all that. It'd explode.
Just because you've got the emotional range of a teaspoon.
Belle from Beauty and the Beast defies the provincial village norms by reading and valuing knowledge over beauty. She rejected being submissive.
Hadn't frightened me, I wouldn't have run away.
Well, you shouldn't have been in the West Wing.
Well, you should learn to control your temper.
Meg March from Little Women finds dignity in her life. She proved that homemaking does not limit a person's work.
Just because my dreams are different than yours doesn't mean they're unimportant.
Bini is a Filipino girl group known as the nation's girl group. The name of Bini comes from the Filipino word binibini, which means young lady. They were formed under ABS-CBN and are composed of 8 members: Joanna, Sheena, Stacy, Colette, Mika, Gwen, Aya, and Maloy. Bini addressed the pressure and insecurity that many young people experience today. Because of social media and competition, it's easy to compare yourself to others and feel like you're falling behind. In their songs, they remind us that life is not a race and that everyone has their own pace. Bini are making the world a better place by using their music to inspire and encourage people. In their songs, Kara and Born to Win, they remind us that life is not a race and that we don't have to compare ourselves to others. They encourage listeners to believe in themselves and stay strong no matter what challenges they face. Through these songs, they spread confidence, hope, and positivity, especially to young people who need motivation. They are my heroes because they have helped me many times, even without knowing it. When I feel tired, lost, or close to giving up, their music becomes my comfort and strength. When everything feels heavy, they remind me to breathe and believe that I am still doing okay. Watching Bini and seeing how far they've come inspires me to keep going and trust my own journey. In their song Infinity, they talk about not giving up and continuing to try even when things are hard, because eventually everything will fall into place. They are not just idols to me, they are my reminder that I can survive tough days and shine in my own time. That is why they are my heroes, because when I struggle to find light, they help me find mine again.
Princess of Wales was a British royal activist and global icon who used her platform to challenge social stigmas and advocate for vulnerable communities. As the former wife of Charles III and mother of Prince William and Prince Harry, she became known as the People's Princess for her kindness and hands-on charity work. During the 1980s and 1990s, she helped break fear and misinformation surrounding HIV/AIDS by publicly shaking hands and hugging patients with that illness and opening the UK's first dedicated HIV/AIDS unit at Middlesex Hospital. She also fought against the global use of landmines by walking through an active minefield in Angola, drawing worldwide attention that contributed to the Ottawa Treaty banning anti-personnel landmines. In addition, Diana openly discussed her struggles with bulimia, postpartum depression and self-harm in a 1995 interview with Martin Bashir, helping reduce the stigma around mental health, and she challenged misconceptions about leprosy by physically touching patients during hospital visits. Within 15 years of being an active royal, Diana have impacted many lives because she performed her responsibilities with genuine kindness and compassion. She made a meaningful difference in how society developed and helped create a better future for generations to come. By challenging stigmas, people experiencing these illnesses were no longer criticized as much, improving their quality of life and contributing to a healthier, more open and accepting society. What makes Princess Diana heroic to me is her genuine love and compassion for people. She never let fame or her royal status change her character, and she treated everyone with kindness and respect because she truly cared. Her actions reminds us that an act of kindness and love can make a significant impact not just in the society you are living today but also in the world our future generation soon will experience.
Imagine being told that because of who you are not allowed to learn. No books, no teachers, no future. This was the reality for Malala Yousafzai in a region controlled by the Taliban. Girls were banned from school, but Malala refused to stay silent. She started a blog for the BBC at just 11 years old. She became a target because her voice was more dangerous to extreme than a weapon. Even after a life-threatening attack, she didn't hide. She recovered and took her message to the global stage, founding the Malala Fund to help girls everywhere. To me, Malala is a hero because she proved that you don't need to be an adult or a soldier to change the world. You just need the courage to speak the truth. She turned her fear into a movement. And that is why Malala Yousafzai is the most heroic person I know. Thank you.
strength, his might, his speed, his fight. He's adamant that
Who is this person? Jose Rizal is the national hero of the Philippines. He was born on June 19, 1861 to a wealthy family in Calamba, Philippines. He was an ophthalmologist or eye doctor by profession, and he studied in Manila and Madrid, but he was so much more than just that. Jose Rizal was a Filipino polymath, a physician, and a writer. What problem are they addressing? He wrote the novels Noli Me Tangere, Touch Me Not in Latin, and El Filibusterismo, The Reign of Greed, sequel to Noli Me Tangere. These two major novels of his exposed the Spanish colonial rule's abuse over the Philippines, the injustice as well as the corruption that they brought to the country. Jose Rizal addressed many significant problems during his time, which all led back to the Spanish colonialism. The abuse of power by the Spanish friars, the oppression, restrictive education, and more. How are they making the world a better place? Jose Rizal helped make this world a better place using his pen and his intellect. He showed his resistance in writing and was firm in his beliefs. This acted as a fuel for the country's weakening fire. On December 30, 1896, Jose Rizal was executed by a firing squad, convicted of rebellion. However, none of his efforts were in vain. Jose Rizal died a martyr, his death serving as a catalyst for the Filipino Revolution against the Spanish rule. That was his legacy. Why do you consider him a hero? I consider Jose Rizal a hero because he is one of the reasons for my freedom right now. One of the reasons why the people of the Philippines don't have to suffer injustices that are still relevant today. He also showed that you don't have to be a warrior to fight for what you believe in. In some cases, the pen is mightier than the sword.
After the war, Europe is split in East and West by the Iron Curtain. There is no dialogue happening between the conflict parties. However, Germany, which is still separated, wants to achieve its reunion. In that time, Willy Brandt, as a German chancellor, brings first sights of change by building bridges and breaking barriers. Brandt was born in 1913 as Herbert Fromm and goes into Norwegian exile in 1930, where he changes his name to Willy Brandt. In 1966, he becomes foreign minister in Bonn and gets elected chancellor in 1969. After serious illness, he died in 1992 in Germany. With him becoming chancellor, a new policy regarding the European East was introduced called Ostpolitik, which focused on dialogue rather than ignorance. With that, he negotiated important treaties that accept the Polish borders, agree on nonviolence, recognize the German Democratic Republic as an own country, and declare the goal of reunification. On the 7th of December 1970, he does the famous genuflection of Warsaw, going down on his knees in front of the Jewish ghetto memorial. As he later described it himself in his memoirs, At the precipice of German history, and under the weight of millions of murdered people, I did what people do when words fail. A German journalist commented, "Then he, who would not need to do this, kneels down in lieu of all those who should, but who do not kneel down, because they do not dare, cannot kneel, or cannot dare to kneel." Brandt's gesture went around the world, and in the next year he earned the Nobel Peace Prize for his Ostpolitik and achievements in bringing Europe closer together. The reason I consider Willy Brandt a hero is that he started symbolic reparations for Germany's crimes in the war, and with his Ostpolitik, he warmed the Cold War up and brought things moving for Germany, my home country, to be what it is today. I will give the last word to a quote by Brandt himself, which he said on a TV interview in 1988. "I think my real success was in helping to ensure that, in the world we live in, the name of our country, Germany, and the concept of peace can once again be mentioned in the same breath."
Most Heroic Contest by Cenit. Bangtan Sonyeondan, or also known as BTS, is a pop boy group from South Korea. They debuted in June 2013, and the group consists of 7 members: RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook. BTS launched a campaign together with Global UNICEF in 2017. The campaign is called Love Myself. The campaign's goal was to protect or prevent child and teens violence, bullying, and abuse, and encouraging self-worth at the same time. BTS Love Myself campaign helped many people by raising money through donations from BTS, Big Hit, and their fans. 3% of the sales from their Love Yourself albums were donated to the campaign, and 100% of the profits from Love Myself merchandise were given to different anti-violence and mental health organizations. This shows how BTS uses their influence to support important causes and help others. I considered BTS as my hero because their music has saved me many times, especially their 2 albums, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life and their Love Yourself album. The songs in these albums have taught me how to love myself and believe in myself. They have encouraged me to keep living and to achieve my dream goals. Their music reminds me that there is a bright future ahead. Even though I do not understand their language, thanks to today's technology, I am able to translate their songs and break the language barrier.
The person I chose as the most heroic is Sir David Attenborough. He is a British broadcaster, biologist, and natural historian from England. He was born in 1926 in London and grew up in Leicester. From a young age, he was fascinated by nature. As a child, he collected fossils, rocks, and other natural objects, and he was always curious about how animals and ecosystems worked. That early interest eventually led him to study natural sciences at university and later begin a career in television. He became famous for creating and narrating wildlife documentaries like Planet Earth and Blue Planet. Through these documentaries, he has shown people incredible footage of animals and environments from all over the world. But his work is not just about showing beautiful scenery. It also highlights serious global problems like climate change, habitat destruction, pollution, and species extinction. One reason I think he is heroic is because he uses his platform to educate people about protecting the environment. In recent years, he has spoken directly to world leaders and encouraged them to take stronger action against climate change. He doesn't just entertain people, he informs them and pushes for real change. When I was younger, my mother let me watch his documentaries a lot, and I didn't realize how much they influenced me. Now I feel a stronger connection to animals and the environment because of the way nature presents. He makes people care. I consider David Attenborough a hero because he has dedicated his entire life to protecting the planet and raising awareness. His lifelong commitment, knowledge, and influence have helped millions of people better understand the importance of taking care of Earth. To me, that lasting impact is what makes someone truly heroic.